Hi everybody, this is Sherry, and I'm going to do a Hello Friend with ink blending card today, and I'm going to do a process video with you. I'm using the Hello Friend from the Mama Elephant stamp set, and what I did was white heat emboss on white glossy paper. So I start here with my picked raspberry, and you will see that the colors go on extremely fast and extremely good, heavy. I mean, there's no blending or struggling necessary when you use glossy cardstock. Now, I absolutely love how the card turned out, but I did have a few problems. I'm moving on here to carved pumpkin, and I always go over the last color a little bit so that they blend together. Now, the next color I'm going to use is squeezed lemonade, and the problem that I had with that was that I should have chosen a darker yellow. That's the only problem with that I have. And that it really isn't the one that gave me a fit. The one after this, which is Twisted Citron. And here you can see I'm blending the squeezed lemonade, and it's just really light. I should have chosen a darker color. And but for some reason, the Twisted Citron goes on very fast, very thick and heavy. And it just glided, slid across the paper with the color. And I don't understand why. I've racked my brain trying to figure out why, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And but if you watch here, you'll see that I also use a piece of paper so that I don't get fingerprints on in the ink. I really don't think I would have needed to do that because this stuff dries really fast as well. And you can see there, I mean, just boom, there's all that color. And there really wasn't even any blending possibility because it overcame the squeezed lemonade. And here I am, I'm going back over with the squeezed lemonade, trying to darken it up and put a dent into the Twisted Citron. And I'm going to come back here with my ink blending tool and try to blend out some of that color. I'm not adding anything to it. I'm trying to blend it out, but it isn't going anywhere. So now we're going to Salty Ocean, and I'm going to use it. And again, I go over, and I just love the color that it makes when the two colors blend together. And because the blue was so big of a section, I only have that tiny little corner to put the shaded lilac on. But it's still, I love how it turned out, and I will definitely be doing more of these cards. And if you have access to glossy cardstock, I think you should try it. I think you'll really like it. And so I'm putting that on, and we're going to get ready here in a second to wipe it down. And I wipe it off with a baby wipe. There it is, the baby wipe, and you can see that on the towel that it takes off some of the ink, but it doesn't blend them together, and it doesn't get rid of the color. It just took the excess ink that was on top of the sentiment off, and but it didn't cause the other colors to react or blend in any way. And now here we go. I'm going to cut this down. I had it at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I decided to trim it down to 4 by 5 1/4 so that I have an 1/8 inch border on all 4 sides of my card base. And this cutter is a Creative Memories paper trimmer, and it doesn't go out to 5 1/2 inches. So you see there, I'm measuring it, and then I'm going to come back in and trim a little more off, and so that I can have that ready. And now here I'm showing you the fun foam that I'm going to attach to the back. And I don't know if you've ever tried fun foam to use as dimension on your cards, but it is great. I will probably never buy another thing of Pop Dots again, because this stuff is awesome. It makes your card feel, the layer feel very sturdy and of substance, because it's just nice and thick. Not thick, but sturdy, just real sturdy. And so I'm putting that on the back with some ATG tape and cleaning off my table. Now, I will tell you that I did another one of these cards, and I used liquid glue to attach the fun foam with. And I don't think anybody else could tell, but I knew. I could see where the glue went down. So if you're going to use this and attach it to the back of your work piece, I suggest you use a dry adhesive for that. And so I'm just wiping it off again where I kind of got fingerprints and ink on it, but it came off. And putting it down there, and we're going to get ready to pick a sentiment. It says, "I miss you, that is all." And I'm going to white heat emboss it on this black cardstock using my Versamark ink. And I did use my embossing buddy from Stampin' Up. And when you use this ink, the pad's really juicy, so try really hard not to push real deep into the pad, because if you do, you're going to get way too much ink and it's going to seep around your sentiment and you're not going to get a clear image. And there's the Recollection Snow detailed embossing powder that I used. And so just really have a light hand when you use your Versamark. It doesn't take a lot of pressure to get it to work really well. And so I'm gathering up my leftover and putting it back in the jar, and I'm getting my heat gun out, and I already had it warmed up. So I'm heating the front, and then I also heat from the underneath so that it makes the cardstock go back to flat. I'm trimming off a thin strip here, and it just says, "I miss you, that is all." Once it's cool, I can wipe the powder off without any problems. Now, I could have used my fun foam. I don't know why I picked this, but I cut a strip off of the end, so it's still a solid piece. And I put it on the back of the strip of paper. I take it off. I get ready to line it up on the side, but before I do that, I'm going to cut it at a little angle there. And I'm going to line it up on the lower right hand side of the card. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I really think they're pretty. I just wish I understood why the green did what it did. Now, here are both cards that I made. The first one that I'm going to show you is the one I made off camera, and I just went in the opposite order, and then that's the one we made together right there. Alright guys, I hope you like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Thanks for visiting me today. Bye.